In this class, we'll look at the first step in developing a health program, situation diagnosis. The development of health programs is done in several stages, but these can be classified in different ways. We'll see these in 7 stages, but bearing in mind that this is just one example and it's not an inflexible formula. The diagnosis of an initial disease situation is of crucial importance since it constitutes the basis for the actions to be proposed. First, the disease of interest has to be briefly described. What is the etiological agent? How is it transmitted? And very importantly, what are the main pathogenic effects? Does it mainly affect productivity, public health, and/or trade? Are adequate diagnostic methods available? Do treatments or vaccines exist? In addition, predisposing factors should be included in the description of the initial situation, since many of the proposed actions will be directed at them. So far, this information is general for the disease and is not particular for the country, so this information can be taken from the literature. These 3 components of the initial situation diagnosis describe the framework in which the measures will be applied. First, what is the area of interest? Is it the totality of the national territory or a particular zone? What are the factors that may affect the frequency and distribution of the disease, and/or the implementation of the program, such as soil conditions, climate, floods, and others? The susceptible population must also be described in detail. The number of animals and animal holders, their geographic distribution, the most relevant production systems, the sites of concentrations of animals, and any other aspects that may affect the implementation of control measures. Finally, the dynamics of the population. For example, how are the animals moved? Which are the main temporal and geographic patterns of animal movements? And the traceability system, if any, should be described as well. It's also very important to know the frequency and distribution of the disease at the beginning of the program, since this will facilitate the evaluation of the improvement, if any. But the presence of the disease may not be enough to justify the implementation of a control program. It's also necessary to have an idea of the impact it produces on productivity, public health, or trade. Some of these factors are relevant to analyze the cost-benefits of the program and to respond to the question, what would be gained by eliminating or reducing the frequency of the disease? The last factors to include in the description of the initial situation are resources available. For example, how many and where are the local veterinarians, the veterinary paraprofessionals, the private veterinarians, the local offices, the diagnostic laboratories, and any other sanitary facilities. Other resources such as transportation and communication may also be important to consider.